Good morning to you, Katleho, and to our viewers. And those are conversations that South Africans are having at this very moment, and something which the minister himself has admitted to. The price of electricity is just too high, and he has asked Sanedi to look at the policy framework to review it and see how the cost of electricity could be to some extent be brought down to make it more affordable. But perhaps let's play a bite of what the minister said when I asked him a question straight about that, about how electricity or the cost of electricity, how consumers are finding it. Let's play that bite first, and then we'll go into the conversation with Sanedi.
Electricity is unaffordable. We can't continue along this tariff path. We are getting to a situation here in the country where we see new dimensions of energy poverty. There are households today, as I speak to you, will not be able to afford the cost of electricity. We can have a conversation about the points that Chris was raising, even if you are too clear that electricity is very expensive. So poor households have to make choices between a loaf of bread or buying the units, prepaid units.
So it's going to be a very mammoth task for Sanedi now to come and start that policy framework. And they tell us that at least 8 to 10 months that they've been given to come up with some of that solution. But let me bring in Professor Samson Mamphweli from Sanedi, who's going to tell us more about the intervention that possibly may reduce the price of electricity. Dr. Mamphweli, thank you so much for joining us on Newsroom Africa. In his own admission, the minister says that it's simply unaffordable and residents are having to choose between bread and electricity at home. The intervention, talk us through the intervention that you are starting at this point, and how, in terms of time frame, I know I'm putting you on the block, but in terms of time frame, that may take till me and other citizens out there, are alleviated of some of this, the cost.
Good morning to you and the viewers. Yes, the minister has acknowledged the fact that the electricity prices have been going up. We've done a thorough analysis as Sanedi to assist him in making that kind of a decision on how to proceed with bringing down the cost of electricity. Especially, he's more concerned about the double-digit increases that are above inflation on an annual basis, which have got historic kind of which have got some history in terms of the cost-reflective nature of the tariff that eskom has been trying to get to for the longest of time, relying mainly on government shareholder injection, equity injections, which many people call bailouts. And now we know the fiscus is constrained, and going forward, the fiscus might not be able to cover some of these costs. So we are looking at an electricity pricing framework on the basis that the minister has now requested Sanedi and various entities, including the Department of Energy and Electricity, that has already started doing some work on their side, to look at how can we then arrest the double-digit increases going forward, so that we can protect mainly the poor and the economy in general.
Okay, so the video you just watched right now is from Newsroom Africa, and they're saying that the electricity ministry says South Africa is on the brink of energy poverty. Minister Kojento Ramaphosa acknowledged that the current cost of electricity is unsustainable, but says South Africa can expect big changes to prices in the coming months. So, hi, welcome to another episode of African Time. My name is Vedashi. That is from the Newsroom South Africa, and that is from the Ministry of Electricity in South Africa also. So the Minister, Ramaphosa, have actually said and make sure that electricity is actually on high, and people are not finding it difficult to access it, and it's actually being a luxury now. But mine is saying that for the coming months they are trying to apply some changes. So beautiful news for South Africa. Price of electricity will be dropping sooner, and hopefully it will be true though. Aren't you happy for that? Well, after you have seen the video, let me know what your takes are. Now, okay, so when this one came and says our government should remove VAT, that is VAT on electricity and water. There are also some very hefty changes on electricity postpaid billing in Joburg. That is 900 rand for network charge and 278 rand for service charge. Not sure what those charges are for. It's a rip-off. Okay, so man is actually saying that there's too much VAT and charges on electricity and water, and he's saying that some of them needs to be removed or reduced. And he actually stated that he said that 900 rand for network charge and then the 278 rand for service charge. And he's saying that I'm not sure what those charges are for. Well, the Ministry of Electricity, why are you not explaining these kind of charges to the people? What are they actually for, and what does that supposed to mean? Why are they people paying that much? Well, again, this one says ANC must remove many subcontractors that are helping to provide electricity to the people of South Africa. We know and we are seeing that we are not buying electricity from municipality or eskom. There are many people who are benefiting illegally in the process of providing electricity. Well, this one is actually saying that most of the thing is not actually from eskom or the South African municipality, but he's actually believe that is most of the charges or the costs are being added to them from illegal connections, and he's saying that they need to settle that, and then people can actually be safe and free now. Well, man is asking that what is actually cheap in this country? Well, not only electricity, but a lot of things are not cheap. Your costs are escalating due to expensive infrastructure projects that yield no value. That is the connected people stuff, paying employees that do not work, and not all of your consumer base paying up for electricity. He says eskom manage that. He said that, well, basically the cost of electricity production and why they're actually increasing their prices is not mainly due to what he's saying though. Man is saying that it's because of the illegal connection that he said, and also he believes that most of their workers are not working, and then they need to do something about that part also. And lastly, this one is energy poverty. We have been in it, and now they just found a name for it. The minister says changes are coming. Translation: pay more or stay in the dark. Eskom's failure is now our bill. Well, man is actually shocked and surprised how, or recently, that they are getting to know that energy is actually something that is draining South African youth and people out there, and it needs to be talked about most. So, but basically, what the minister is saying that they have actually noticed it and have seen it, and are doing everything possible for new changes to come in next month. Hopefully, it got a good reduction that it deserves, and people can actually feel relief, and then they can move on with their lives also. Thank you for your time, and see you guys around.